Hey guys, how the hell are you? Coming at you yet again from New Release Friday. Today is Friday, March 19th, and tons of new stuff is coming out today that is going to be vying for our attention as listeners. I love checking out new metal bands, new metal music that's coming out, and seeing what is going to blow my mind week after week after week. If you guys are in the same boat and want to check out some great new stuff that's coming out, or maybe want to check out some bands that you know and love who are releasing some new albums this week, or maybe even new EPs, please remember to click the link that is at the top of the video description below. I do have a Spotify playlist set up where I re-update it every single week with all new releases that I think might hold my attention. So by all means, feel free to give it a follow. Check out some of the stuff that's on there. Hopefully something blows your guys' mind as much as it does mine. This week was interesting. There was kind of an overabundance of stuff that was, I would say, of above average quality. There was some great stuff coming out from really across the spectrum. You know, sludge metal, black metal, deathcore, slam, thrash, whatever. There was tons of great stuff that came out this week. So, how do I narrow it down? Well, this week I decided, you know what, there was 4 albums really that were just kind of fighting with each other for the top spot this week, and I'm just going to talk very, very briefly about all 4 of them, but I'm saving the best for last because the best for last was something that came out of left field. I had no idea it was even coming out, and it kind of really blew my mind. All right, so first of all, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Chad, who recommended a band called Stortregn. I hopefully pronounced that correctly. They just put out a new record called Impermanence, which is honestly some awesome, slightly techy, slightly blackened melodic death metal stuff. Not too far off from a slightly more technical, actually probably considerably more technical dissection. Really, really, really fantastic stuff all the way through. A great listen. Definitely worth checking out. The Italian progressive power metal band Secret Sphere released a new album this week as well. And wow, this was probably, in my honest opinion, the most perfect record that they have put out. And I know that's a bold statement for a band that has had such a long and storied career, but they're also a band that doesn't exactly hold my attention from album to album to album. Some albums of theirs I absolutely love, love, love. Some, not so much. It's not to say that they're bad albums, just to say that I kind of pick and choose what I listen to from them. This is probably the first record of theirs where every single song all the way through was absolutely killer. Definitely some moments I liked more than others, but an all-around damn near perfect record from them. So please, if you dig that sort of progressive power metal stuff, check it out. The Crown came out with another new record, and this is a band that I have loved for many, many years, ever since I first saw them opening for Cannibal Corpse at the Rave in Milwaukee, and just blowing my fucking mind with their awesome brand of death thrash metal. Just combining elements from both, sounding like some of the most extreme shit around at the time. Just unapologetically fucking metal. And this is a band that, despite, a few little off ticks here or there, despite taking lengthier and lengthier breaks between albums, surviving a few breakups, I'm very, very happy to report that this is a band that kind of seems like they are sticking to their story, if that makes any sense. The new record, Royal Destroyer, is mind-blowingly awesome, especially if you dig this sort of death mixed with thrash metal. It has some blasting moments, it has some carpet roll moments, it has some go for the throat, mosh pit attack moments on it. The vocalist Johan is sort of kind of becoming a new version of David Vincent, which is great. I don't mean that to be an insult at all. I think it's great that his voice is kind of taking that sort of turn. But a fantastic, fantastic listen. But there can be only one, and this album of the week that I had this week was totally unexpected. Like, I had no idea these guys were even still around. I remember seeing them 16 years ago on Ozfest 2005 and being absolutely amazed. I picked up the album. I loved the album. I thought it was great. And then it seems like they just kind of got lost in the shuffle of mid-2000s music industry indifference, which is goddamn unfortunate, because I remember thinking at the time, like, this is something that's prototypical. This is something that you are about to see a ton of bands come out in this same sort of style, aping this style, and this is going to be a band that is going to be huge as kind of founding a movement. And while I do feel like I'm somewhat correct, there are a ton of bands that have come out maybe in the last 10 to 15 years who have incorporated a lot of elements from their last record. Gizmachi never got the credit that they deserved, in my opinion. And now they finally have a new record out. We ended up with a record that totally encompasses what this band was known to do, incorporating that same sort of riffing style, that same sort of song structure style that they had back then, which was very, very different. It's not straight up verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro stuff like you would typically expect from a lot of modern metal bands. It is veering off in several different directions. Probably the best description of this record, of the new Gizmachi record, is percussive. There's so much incredible staccato, slightly breakdownish riffing throughout this whole thing that percussive is really the only way to describe it. Percussive in such a way that it's very much in line with stuff like you would have heard from that era of Meshuggah, and even that you still hear from this era of Meshuggah that's been coming out lately. So, yeah, okay, I'm saying for fans of Meshuggah, if you haven't heard of Gizmachi up to this point, that's fair, because it was, like I said, some band that got lost in the shuffle that, in my opinion, should not have been. But for those of you guys that have never heard of this band, that never knew what they did, and have no idea what sort of history they have or what they sound like, I'm telling you, if you dig that incredible riff-heavy Meshuggah kind of stuff where it plays around the 4/4 beat quite a bit, you need to give a moment to this new Gizmachi record. Super percussive riffing, some great guest appearances on here. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen the music video that exists right now where there's actually some guest soloing from Larry Mitchell, of all people, which is awesome. New vocalist is Speed from Soilwork. How fucking rad is that? And he is blazing a fucking trail over this. Like, he's always been an incredible vocalist of many, many different styles. All of those styles are on full display here, and it fits the music fucking perfectly. I don't really have a negative thing to say about this record. It is fantastic from start to finish. There's so many moments where it just makes me pound the fist on the roof of the car as I'm driving along, cranking this thing. It's great driving music. It's aggressive without being to a violent extreme. It's just an incredible record. And for those of you guys that get into that stuff, like Meshuggah, like Nemec, that sort of sound, you definitely owe it to yourselves to check out this new Gizmachi record. Omega Kaleid, such a great listening experience. Welcome back, guys. please, please, please keep doing this because this was awesome. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into yet another Album of the Week video. Remember, there is going to be more of this coming up every Friday. Remember also to please click that link in the description below to check out my Spotify playlist. There's also going to be a link to Gizmachi's Facebook page so you can go show a little bit of love there and check them out. For those of you guys that haven't, like this video, subscribe to this channel, comment down below. The more interactions we get, the more we're able to grow this channel. I promise you more content is coming. Thank you so much for your patience. And as always, please remember, take what you do seriously, but do not take yourselves too seriously.